Welcome to the Your Fitness Chick podcast. Become your best self. I'm your host, Abby Smiley-Krause. I am a personal trainer, a wellness enthusiast, and I'm not gonna lie, a certified dog-obsessed human. This isn't just another fitness podcast. It's your wake-up call to level up your life. In this podcast, I'll be diving into everything from crushing your workouts to shifting your mindset, because being your best self isn't just about lifting weights, it's about lifting your life. Whether you're here to get fit, find inspiration, or just stop settling for an average life, you're in the right place. We're talking about tapping into your full potential, expanding your horizons, and building a life so good, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. So let's lace up, show up, and start making things happen. This isn't just a podcast. It's your permission slip to dream big, work hard, and create the life you've always wanted. Join me here every Tuesday for a fresh episode. Let's start here. If you're eating less, working out more, wondering if you're broken because you're so freaking tired and cranky, and those pounds aren't coming off as quickly as Instagram promised you would, you're not crazy. You're just in a legit calorie deficit. And guess what? It's not always glamorous. Welcome to the Your Fitness Chick podcast. I'm Abby, your fitness chick, and today I'm breaking down 5 totally normal things that happen when you're cutting calories and trying to lose fat. So this is for all my fat loss warriors out there grinding in the trenches, because losing weight, it's simple, but it's not easy. So let's talk about what's happening inside your body, why you feel like a walking zombie some days, and how you can stay consistent without losing any muscle or your flipping mind. So let's get into it. All right, so let's rip the Band-Aid off with the number one complaint I hear from my clients, and that is, why am I so tired? When you're in a calorie deficit, meaning you're consistently consuming fewer calories than your body needs to maintain its weight, you're literally asking your body to dip into its stored energy, aka fat, to make up for the difference. When calories are low, the body reduces the secretion of hormones like leptin, which is your fullness hormone, T3, your thyroid hormone, as well as insulin. This is your body's way of preserving energy. Think low battery mode. So yes, you're going to be a little tired because your body's using less fuel. So some actionable steps to help you sail through this process a little more easily is to not cut your calories too aggressively. You want to aim for about a 15 to 20% deficit max. If you're not sure how much food you should be eating every day, check out my podcast from last week titled, How Many Calories Should You Eat to Lose Weight? All right. Also, I want you to shoot for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. Keeping a lot of protein flowing through your body is going to help you feel satiated, which will also provide you with some more energy. Prioritize your sleep like it's a job. I want you shooting for 7 to 9 hours a night. And before you say you don't have time, check your screen time and your Netflix logins. I also want you to adjust your workout schedules a little bit. Every 4 to 6 weeks, maybe create a lighter load for workout weeks, especially if you're hitting a fatigue wall within your training program. So just remember, your body's running on premium unleaded while your brain's expecting rocket fuel. Take a deep breath and maybe a nap. Here's the number 2 thing that is normal to happen when you're in a calorie deficit, and that is you're freezing even when it's like 75 degrees outside. So let's talk cold spells. If you're suddenly feeling like you have to layer up like it's the Arctic tundra, congratulations. That's probably a sign that your body is burning fat. And here's why. Your basal metabolic rate, abbreviated your BMR, it drops slightly when you're in a calorie deficit. And what that means is less internal heat production. If you have less body fat, aka insulation, you're going to lose heat faster. Research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows that even a moderate energy restriction reduces thermogenesis, which is heat production, due to decreased leptin. Lower leptin equals lower metabolic output equals you're freezing. So layer up, use heated blankets, and drink warm tea to regulate comfort. Boost your movement by taking daily walks. That's going to help generate some heat and bonus, burn more calories. And also do refeed days, meaning controlled increase in carbs once every 1 to 2 weeks. And that can help with restoring your leptin levels temporarily. Now let's talk about the third normal thing that you're going to probably experience when you're in a calorie deficit. Cue the intense cravings and the late night fridge raids. When you cut calories, ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, turns into an aggressive little gremlin. Studies show that ghrelin levels increase significantly during caloric restriction, especially with rapid weight loss. And let's not forget the dopamine, your brain's reward chemical. When you restrict, your brain starts obsessing over food to feel good. So, to help you overcome this and sail through it better, eat high volume foods. Think fibrous veggies, leafy greens, berries. Don't skip meals. Pace out 3 to 5 protein rich meals and snacks per day. Use mindful eating. Chew slowly. Skip scrolling while you're eating. Be present and just breathe while you're eating your meals. And build meals with the big three: protein, fiber, and healthy fats. You're not a monster. You're a metabolic masterpiece in progress. Hungry? Yeah. Failing? Hell no. Diving into the fourth normal thing that happens during a caloric deficit, and this one probably hits people the hardest. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time here. So let's talk about the emotional roller coaster of weight loss. You've been doing everything right. You're in a calorie deficit. You're meal prepping like a boss. You've restricted that 10 p.m. call from the leftover cheesecake in the fridge. You even said no to wine. Who even are you now? And then you step on the scale and boom, it's up 2 pounds. Your brain starts spiraling. What the hell? You start questioning everything. Is my metabolism broken? Is this even worth it? Am I destined to live in leggings forever? Here's the truth bomb. Fat loss and scale weight are not always friends. Here's what could be going on when that scale spikes, even if you're in a legit calorie deficit. The first is water retention. Your body holds onto water for lots of different reasons. Maybe you had a salty meal. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe your stress is up because cortisol, your stress hormone, makes your body retain water. So, yes, being stressed about the scale can literally contribute to the scale going up. Well, the irony. So, in addition to this, there is also something called glycogen replenishment. Glycogen is how your body stores carbs for energy. For every gram of glycogen, your body holds on to 3 to 4 grams of water. So if you had a higher carb day, or if you even just reintroduce carbs after a low carb stretch, you didn't gain fat. Most likely you just gained some water and energy reserves. Another reason the scale could be reading higher could be due to workout inflammation, especially after you do strength training, because when you work out, your muscles experience little things called tiny micro tears. Your body is going to send fluids to those areas to help you recover. So that's inflammation, not necessarily fat gain. It's part of the healing process, and it can cause temporary weight gain. But what it really means, you're getting stronger. We'll take that as a win. And of course, when you're talking about weight gain on the scale, we can't forget hormonal fluctuations. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. That magical time of the month. It can add 2 to 5 pounds from bloating, inflammation, and just plain old water retention. So it's totally normal. It's totally frustrating, but it's totally not fat gain. Lastly, there's also food volume. When you step on that scale, that number is going to include everything that's in your body. That includes your organs, bones, water, poop. Yep, poop.
and literally the weight of the food in your stomach. So a big salad can weigh a pound, but that doesn't mean you gained a pound of fat. So the smarter ways to measure your progress is instead of obsessing over that lying little box on the floor, do this instead. First thing in the morning, weigh yourself after you pee, before you eat or drink anything, and do it completely naked. Yes, those fuzzy slippers even weigh more than what you think. You're going to do this all the time, and that way you're comparing apples to apples and not apples to oranges. I also want you to track multiple metrics. Do your waist circumference, the same spot, using the same measuring tape, same time of day. Do progress photos. Every 2 to 4 weeks, do a front, side, and a back pose. Pictures never lie. Also, just decide, how are your clothes fitting? Do the jeans test. It's also not going to lie to you. And lastly, just monitor, how's your energy? How's your sleep? How's your strength gains? How's your mood? And use weekly averages, because daily weigh-ins are like watching the stock market. It's chaotic and not very useful. But weekly averages are going to show trends over time, and that's where you'll find the real truth of what's going on. Focus on behavior-based goals as well. So did you stick to your plan this week? Did you get your workouts in? Did you say no to things that don't align with your goals? Celebrate that, because that's also real progress. Remember, real fat loss is slow, and it's the truth that no one likes to hear, but you need to hear it. Real fat loss is going to be 1 to 2 pounds per week. That's it. It's not dramatic. It's not flashy, but it's sustainable, and it's how you keep it off for good. We're sick of losing the same pounds over and over and over again. Fast weight loss usually is just water, muscle, and it's short-lived. But if you do want lasting results, you have to realize it's the slow grind, that consistent effort, showing up even when the scale is being a total brat to you. If you're tempted to quit, I want you to just remember this. If that number on the scale is making you become frustrated and disappointed, I want you to ask yourself, would you stop a road trip just because the GPS had a glitch in it for a second? Of course not. You keep going because you know where you're headed. Your body is not Amazon Prime. You don't get results in 2 days. But I promise you, if you stay consistent, if you trust the science, and if you stop letting a $20 device dictate your self-worth, you'll get there. And when you do, it will be so worth it. So let's wrap this up with the 5th normal thing to happen during a calorie deficit. Welcome to what I like to call calorie deficit brain. It's a real place. Population, you, me, and every other person who's ever decided to get serious about their health and fat loss goals. So let's set the scene, okay? So you're standing in your kitchen, staring at a banana, and you're asking yourself, should I eat this? Then you look at your protein shake and think, would that be too much? You plug it into your tracker. Wait, am I eating too little? Should I add something else? Did I mess up today? Why am I not seeing my abs yet? Sound familiar? If so, take a pause. This little mental spiral, it's not failure. It's awareness on overdrive. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body undergoes subtle and not so subtle physiological changes. Your brain is incredibly tuned into shifts in energy intake. Even before major hunger kicks in, your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for planning and decision making, gets real busy. It starts calculating risk, scanning for threats, and questioning everything. Why? Because from an evolutionary standpoint, eating less equals potential survival threat. So when you start obsessing over portion sizes and wondering if that extra tablespoon of almond butter just ruined your progress, or overanalyzing whether you should have had rice instead of sweet potatoes, that's actually your ancient biology trying to just keep you alive. But here's the deal. This ancient wiring doesn't understand that you're not in a famine. You're on a structured fat loss plan with a fridge full of options and probably a Target run plan for this weekend. So what it really means when you're second guessing yourself is it means you care. It means you want to do this right. You're invested in your outcome. But there's a fine line between mindful awareness and mental obsession. And once you cross it, process gets stressful, and that's not sustainable. So this is where a lot of people quit, not because the plan doesn't work, but because they talk themselves out of it during the in between. The scale didn't move fast enough. The mental noise got louder, and the mirror didn't give them that instant validation that they were seeking. So here's the truth, and you know this deep down. Fat loss isn't linear, and your progress won't be either. Some days you're going to feel like a superhero, like you slayed it, like you're a warrior, like you crushed it. And other days you're going to feel like a bloated potato with trust issues. But the ones who are going to get the results, they don't let those feelings dictate their actions. They stay the course. They lean on their routine. They give their body the consistency it needs. So when that mental fog creeps in, because trust me, it will, and you're second guessing yourself, I want you to remember this. That's your brain doing what it's wired to do. That's not your cue to quit. That's your signal to stay structured, stay patient, and to keep going. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Let's not confuse awareness with obsession. You're literally learning a new language, a language of self-discipline, of body literacy, of showing up, even when the feedback is not instant. And like any new language, it takes practice, repetition, and trust. The results, they always come to the ones who keep showing up. Not perfectly, but consistently. And one day, you'll look back at these moments and you'll realize this was the part that built you, not the end goal, but the messy, uncertain, second-guessing middle. So keep going, friend. Your abs aren't ghosting you. They're just under construction. So if you've been wondering, is all this stuff that I'm going through normal? Let me answer it for you. Yes, it's normal to feel tired. It's normal to feel cold. It's normal to feel a little bit hungry. It's normal for the scale to act up. And it's very normal to feel like you're questioning your life choices. But here's what's not normal and what we're not going to have be acceptable. Giving up on yourself when you're this close to a breakthrough. Throwing in the towel just because your pants don't praise you yet. Thinking you're failing when your body is literally doing exactly what it's designed to do. Adjust, adapt, and survive. Your job is not to quit. So keep showing up, keep eating smart, keep lifting heavy, keep resting hard. And remember, your goal isn't perfection, it's progress with purpose. If this episode lit a fire under you, share it with somebody that you think could use to hear it. And direct message me if you have questions. I love to communicate with you. Leave a review. And most of all, keep going because you're not just losing weight, you're becoming your best self. If you need help making your calorie deficit sustainable and effective, check out my programs by visiting www.yourfitnesschick.com. Have an incredible week, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Hey, it's Abby, your fitness chick. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Your support means the world to me and allows me to keep creating inspiring content just like this. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so we can stay connected and motivated all week long. You can find me on all my social media platforms. Links are in the show notes. And be sure to visit my website at www.yourfitnesschick.com for more resources to help you crush your goals. A huge thank you to you, my listeners. You inspire me every single day. I'll catch you in the next episode.